Hey, and what's the crack? Welcome to my video where I will be showing you how I got the Platinum Trophy for Psychonauts 2. And if you haven't played the first Psychonauts or the second Psychonauts, you should go play them because this video contains spoilers. Or keep watching, I'm not your ma, I can't tell you what to do. In this game, you get to actually invade someone's mind, and in their mind, they've come up with clever ways for you to pick up their collectibles like figments of the imagination, or even memories that people have locked away in memory vaults, and then shown them as like old-time projection films. And of course, who can forget, because we all have it, emotional baggage. And in this you collect tags and sort it for them. Even the way they introduce some enemies are quite clever, like this fella is Regret. But that's enough of me praising this game, and let's get into the trophies. Start with the first one I got, called Employee of the Year. And you get this trophy for going through the first mind, which is Lobatos, and then you get taken to the Psychonauts headquarters, which is called the Mother Lobe. While at the Mother Lobe, I got a few more trophies, and one of them was Core Strength. And how I get this trophy is combining PSI cards with a PSI core marker at an automatic made by, you guessed it, a man named Otto. Doing this leveled you up, and it gave me my other trophy called Associate Intern. And unlocking this trophy is going from level 1 to level 2. Looks like the automatic had a lot of trophies for me because I got my other one here called Pin Drop. And to get this, all you have to do is choose your first pin. I chose the color blue for my ball for levitation. We then get the unfortunate pleasure of meeting Rasputin's classmates, and they for some reason mace all his clothes, and then they lock him in a closet to, I don't know what the point of it was, but clothes or no, that will not stop me from getting my trophies, like this next one called I'm Always Here For You, Darling. To acquire this trophy, all you have to do is go into your teacher's classroom, and this is time sensitive, so I recommend doing this as soon as you can if you're trying to get it. I will, however, stop getting trophies for rashers, or as some people call it, bacon. But after I'm done with the bacon, I move on to my next trophy called Menti Fresh. And how I got this trophy, unfortunately it didn't involve bacon, but it did involve me meeting the head of the Psychonauts to get my first assignment. And even with all the psychic powers, the thing they have me doing that's most important is sorting the mail. And why is it every boss you ever come across walks and acts exactly like this fella? Not only do they give you jobs around the place, but you also have to go to class, and that class is in someone's mind. And while in this person's mind, this leads to the next trophy called Junior Intern. And getting this trophy is quite simple. All you have to do is reach level 10, and you can reach level 10 by collecting figments, nuggets of wisdom, or combining side cards with side markers. And I don't know how these developers found the inside of my head, but they did, because this is all you would find in there. Anyways, moving on to the next trophy. It was called Everybody Hates Socks with Sandals, and I got this trophy by changing Hollis's mind while inside her mind and making new connections for old thoughts. After making a very simple connection in her mind, she decides to go full on addiction to gambling and brings us all to a casino. And now we have to go in and clean up our mess inside her mind, and this is what it looks like on the inside. Knowing when to fold them was the next trophy on the list, and you get this trophy for fighting the second most RGB octopus I've ever seen in my life. The name of the next trophy that I got was called High Roller Revolutions, and how you acquire this trophy is by making your way through the casino all the way to the top. I think this next trophy that I got was kind of cool. It's called Jung at Heart, and the reason I think this trophy is cool is because it introduces you how to get into someone else's mind, and you're just standing on a brain. And in a big brain moment, I got my next trophy here called Extra Credit, and it was big brain time because I decided to upgrade one of my sight abilities. We then get introduced to 3 new characters, and they are Ford Crawler, and last but not least, of course, Ford Crawler. And since we're being introduced, let me introduce you to the next trophy I got called Home Run. And how you get this trophy is by traveling through a dark cave to find your family camping nearby. This leads to the next trophy I got called Family is Intense. And you get this for climbing up a few things and setting up a tent to help out the family. God help any psychonaut that's born with ADHD and gets distracted by a squirrel while walking on these things. So on to the next trophy that I got, and it was called Shutterbug. And it's quite an easy trophy to get. All you have to do is take a picture with the camera. The next trophy obtained was called Fine Tuning, and you get this trophy for tuning in and finding a stray thought. Continuing on to the next trophy I got, and it was called Objection. And to get a hold of this trophy, all you have to do is rip the gavel off one of the judges and throw it back at him. I wonder if this is what goes on in Gordon Ramsay's head when he's just walking around the place. He just roars at the audience that everyone's raw. Anyways, moving on. The next trophy that I got was called Take a Licking, and you get this trophy for just simply taking a health item to restore some health. While in the same area, I got the next trophy called ram it down. And how you can secure this trophy is by taking on all the judges and beating them. How obsessed with bowling do you have to be for your whole mind just to revolve around it? Speaking of which, that brings me to the next trophy I got, called Perfect Game. And you can acquire this trophy by making your way through and completing this person's mind. Moving onward, the next trophy I got was called PSI Roller. And you get this trophy for upgrading your wallet not once but twice. And speaking of upgrading, this leads me on to the next trophy I got, called Power Play. And I acquired this by fully upgrading one of my badges. And the badge I chose was my PSI blaster. And the reason I upgraded that is for this next trophy called Duck Duck Goose. And this trophy is missable because you have to hit the real target when he copies himself. The trophy Feast of the Senses was the next one I managed to acquire. And how you get this trophy is running through someone's mind and reconnecting the old bandmates. This feels so weird to explain. Proceeding on to the next trophy I got, it was called To the Letter. And how I accessed this trophy was making my way through and clearing out this person's mind. The next trophy is very similar and it's called A Little Off the Top. To earn this trophy, all you have to do is make your way through this person's mind once again. Completing all three of them minds gets you access to this next trophy called Sane in the Membrane. And you get this trophy for putting all three forward crawlers back together, like a jigsaw puzzle. Advancing on to the next trophy, it was called Buried Memories. And how you can land this trophy is just by going through forward crawler's mind and exploring it to find out what happened. The next trophy that I managed to snag was the Relic Room. And how you can receive this trophy is by making your way through this level until you discover the astrolabe. While in another person's mind, I managed to snag another trophy here called Senior Intern. Quite an easy trophy to get, you just have to progress through the game until you reach level 50. The next trophy I obtained was Bob's Your Uncle, and how you receive this trophy is by fighting and beating whatever in the Christ that nightmare fuel is. The next trophy I had in the bag was called Pinhead, and you get this trophy for buying 3 badges at the automatic and then equipping them. Archetypal Victory was the next trophy that I picked up, and how you can snap this up is by fighting one of the angriest librarians I've ever seen in my life. I think she read the 3 Little Pigs too much. Pressing on, I got the next trophy called Tattered Family. To gain this trophy, you have to make it to the end of this person's mind and fight a few of their sensors. The next trophy that I received was called Pyromania, and how you snap up this trophy is by setting 3 of your enemies on fire with your Pyroblast. The next trophy I pulled was Delusionist Darkness, and you get this for taking the tour of someone's mind. It's like a personal hell. I mean, imagine hearing that all the time in your head. It's torturous. Moving swiftly on from that, this is where I get my next trophy called TKO, and you get this for picking up an object with your telekinesis and throwing it at an enemy and stunning them. Obtaining the next trophy, Finish What Was Started, was quite cool to get because you get to become giant and have a giant boss fight with the main bad guy. And after having that fight, it made me realize I should have got this trophy, Fluff Nutter, a lot sooner. Buying the pouch that lets you store the maximum amount of fluff, which is this game's health recovery. And it's lucky when I got this when I did, because I got my next trophy, Hiccup in the Giddy Up, and you get this for using a dream fluff to recover some of your health when you need it the most. I like the way Raz's brother does not listen to him about what psychics are like, but he listened to some girl that he's never met. And speaking of Raz's family, this trophy involves one of them. It's called Dance Baby Dance. And how you can have this trophy is by going around the questionable area and finding your brother Creepy. The next trophy that I managed to snap up was called King of Pop, and this is for once again maxing out something that gives you health back. The next trophy that I arrived at was called Making Peace. And how you can come by this trophy is just by going having a chat with Ford and your Nona. The next trophy that I landed on was called Forgot My Keys, and you get this for going back into someone's mind from the subconscious. While in this person's mind, I managed to earn the next trophy called Shared Regret. And to be granted this trophy, you just take one of the regrets weights off them and throw it at another one. I swear if anyone could hear me now, they'd think I'm insane. Gaining this next trophy, Safecracker, was quite easy, but it does take some time because you have to go through everyone's mind and find their memory vaults. And speaking of finding things, this leads me to the next trophy called Figureheaded, and you can acquire this trophy by going through everyone's minds and finding all their figments of imagination. And while I'm still collecting things, I got my other trophy, You're It, and this is acquired by tagging and bagging all emotional baggage in people's minds. And this trophy was probably my favorite, and it was called Make It Stop. And the reason it's my favorite is because you get to break the gramophones that play that god awful music in that one level. On to the next trophy that I managed to secure, and it was called Keep Your Shirt On, and you can acquire this trophy by collecting all the scavenger hunt items that you need. The next trophy that I managed to come by was called Good Vibes Only, and how you come by this trophy is by doing someone else's work and completing levels like these. Quickly moving on to the next trophy, Nest Egg, and you get this for going around collecting 5,000 of the game's currency. I wish it was this easy in real life. Could you imagine just walking by and there's like 50 quid on the ground? Moving on to the next trophy I seized, and it was Principal Intern, and you get this for just simply reaching level 100. I say simply, but you have to collect everything in this game to reach this level. The next trophy may sound a bit suspicious. It's called A Fungus Among Us, and you get this by collecting the fungus in one of the caves and give it to Lily for her dad. Forging ahead to the next trophy, it was Unlimited Power, and you can acquire this by becoming Emperor Palpatine, or by upgrading all your psychic abilities. Take your pick. Pushing ahead onto the next trophy, it was Kingpin, and you get this for buying all the pins in the automatic shop. And since we're on the topic of buying, this leads on to the next trophy called You Oughta Be in Pictures, and you get this for buying all the filters for your camera in, once again, the automatic. And this gives me the platinum trophy for Psychonauts 2. This game is not that difficult to platinum. I give it about a 3 out of 10. Nothing is overly hard in this game, but just because it's easy doesn't mean you shouldn't platinum it. I definitely recommend this game. And this is the end of the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed, and maybe I'll see you in the next one. Take care. What are you looking at?